Thank you.
Thanks.
See you later, Kevin. Is this Mr. Please unmute. Is this Mr. Serban? Oh, no, that's some.
No.
That's
Nope.
You're Summer McKedick, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
Well, Ms. McKediak, what happened is we waited and you did not appear. And so what we did is we dismissed the case.
Me?
Yes.
I've been here since 11 o'clock. Sitting here. What do you mean? I called this morning at 9 a.m. to verify the time, and I've been on Zoom since 11 o'clock waiting on the waiting room. You switched over to answer one time, and by the time I turned my video on, it was back to the waiting room again.
Okay, well, Ms. McKediak, what you're gonna have to do is, unfortunately, you're gonna have to refile.
I've never missed a court hearing in my life, sir.
Okay.
You know, you've worked with me several times. I've been on this whole time.
Okay, ma'am, I'm not debating that point. I'm just saying at the time when we came on at 11 o'clock, we didn't have parties for a lot of the hearings. We never saw you. So we waited. We had, well, plus the hearing was supposed to be in person. So you would have supposed to have been here in person. We had the prosecutor go out and call the hall multiple times. You
It
weren't
was
here.
on Zoom last time. I thought only Mark had to appear in person.
No, we put on the notice that it had to be in person, the parties appear.
I paid $60 to have this done. You know how many problems? I have to file another violation on him this morning.
Well,
Like, I need this taken care of today. I had no idea I could be at the courtroom in 5 minutes. If you
Well,
would have over
we've already dismissed the attorneys. It's now 11:27. We dismissed them because nobody appeared in person. The notice clearly says parties to appear in person. So we
So am
dismissed
I
that.
just filing for another motion to extend?
You can file another motion to extend or refile that one because we'll note that you did appear, but we didn't know that because it was supposed to be in person.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna have Matthew deal with these from now on because this is exactly why I didn't want to do this one on my own. But they said I didn't need my attorney, so I'm just gonna involve the attorneys from now on.
Okay.
So I'm just
Okay.
gonna go up and it's just a motion to extend. It's not for the violation. The violation was
You can
already.
you can file what you want. We're not saying you can't file anything. You can file what you want, but the reason we didn't get on Zoom to look for you is because it said in person and we
I
stated.
thought that meant the defendant. I'm sorry.
We stated at the last hearing that the parties would appear in person.
The prosecutor had asked for Mark to appear in person because of his failure to appear all the time.
We said that
I
we
know
wanted
that.
the parties to appear in person.
Okay.
And the notice says parties appear in person, so
Yep,
that's all I can tell you.
I'll call Matthew and just file another one.
Okay,
All right,
Go
thank you.
Yep.
I was just telling him to say, have her just call us,
okay,
but it sounds like she's gonna,
yeah,
Yeah.
good, call your attorney not have to deal with it.
yeah.
I mean, we
That's
said,
even better.
we said in person for all, I mean.
Yeah, I get why she was confused, but again, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all right, we'll get it
Okay,
fixed.
we do need to call this last one. The defendant did not appear.
Oh, defendant did not?
No,
Mr. Cervantes.
yeah, and that's his motion.
Yeah,
Sorry about the wait, ma'am. We're gonna call your case now. This is 2024-2673.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. Thank you, Kathy, for the raid. Kathy was doing evening stream. That was awesome. I like it when she does that. So we're going to we got Judge Kirkham today, Judge Boyd. We got Judge Simpson. Let's go to the Judge Simpson one. This is a follow-up from the crazy lady from last week. And I feel comfortable saying crazy because I'm fairly certain of it. You know, my medical degree says I can call her crazy. So here we go.
Court calls case People versus Rebecca Valentine. Good morning, Your Honor. First, Public Defender Kalina Anderson with and on behalf of Ms. Valentine. Ms. Valentine, please state your name.
I'm defending myself, Rebecca Valentine, and I want to enter a guilty plea.
Excuse me?
Your Honor, I spoke with her this morning. She advised me that she wanted to represent herself and did not wish to be represented by the Public Defender's Office.
Is that a correct statement, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Couple things we have to do here then. I do have to advise you that you are before the court on 2 charges of assault on a prison employee. Do you understand the nature of those charges?
Yes, they started it, but I ended it, and I'm guilty, and I want to say I'm guilty.
Ma'am, I'm also going to advise you that you should refrain from saying anything about the offenses, as anything that you say can be used against you in this matter. You also understand that each of these counts is a felony, punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and a $250 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, I do understand that.
All right. You also understand that there can be great perils in representing yourself in this matter?
Yep, I accept that. I don't really think there's that many perils.
You also understand that in doing so, that you would be held to the same standard that an attorney would be held to regarding knowledge of the court rules and knowledge of the proceedings.
That sounds pretty fair.
All right. So your intention is to represent yourself in this matter?
Yes, sir, and plead guilty right now.
You understand, you could please not interrupt me, but if you understand also that if at any time during these proceedings that you wish to be represented by counsel, that you can request that of the court, and the court would appoint counsel to represent you if you could not afford to hire counsel. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
And so you wish to proceed today without counsel, is that correct?
Yes.
Public defender is permitted to withdraw as counsel of record, defendant to represent herself.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need an order?
Pardon?
Do you need an order?
Please.
I'll get that to you right away, sir.
Okay, ma'am, what do you wish to do today?
I would wish to enter a guilty plea.
All right. If you wish to enter a guilty plea, you're going to have to waive your right to a preliminary examination, proceed to circuit court, and enter the guilty plea there.
Okay.
So you wish to waive your right to have a preliminary examination in this matter?
Yes.
You understand that a preliminary examination is a proceeding where the people would have to show by probable cause that the offenses alleged were committed and that you committed them.
Yeah.
You understand that you'll not have that hearing and that you'll proceed to circuit court for further resolution.
Yes.
People also waive their right. Preliminary examination having been waived, defendant is bound over to circuit court on both counts. Ma'am, you understand, and it has not changed from the time of your arraignment to the time that I had just read the charges. You understand that this is, at this point, the circuit court arraignment. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
The information in this case alleges that on or about November 26, 2022 at Huron Valley Correctional Facility, count 1 alleges that you did commit an assault on a prison employee, that being a Tracy Maupins. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir. I punched her in the head 3 times.
Excuse me?
Yep, I did it. I punched her in the head.
Well, you understand what you are charged with.
Yep, punching her in the head.
It's a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and a $2,500 fine plus court cost. You understand that, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
The information also alleges that on that same date at that same location, that you did commit another offense of assault on a prison employee, that being a Lauren Hales. You understand that charge, ma'am?
Yeah, I punched him in the head 3 times too.
I'm also going to advise you that you should refrain from saying anything about the offenses in this case, because anything you say can and will be used against you. You understand that, ma'am?
Yeah, but I'm already saying I'm guilty, but I understand.
The second offense is also a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and a $2,500 fine plus court costs. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You also understand that, as I had indicated before, that you do have the right to be represented by counsel. You cannot afford to hire counsel. You would be appointed counsel to represent you. You understand that?
Yes.
All right. This time, ma'am, what I'm going to indicate is that you're standing mute to these charges. That means you're not at this time saying anything about them, and I will be entering a not guilty plea. You understand that?
No, because I want to say I'm guilty. And I
And
thought we
you
found
said
it
it-
over to
you
circuit
said it
court,
all
so I.
Ma'am, you understand that for the purposes of this arraignment, you're not saying anything about them, meaning that you're standing mute. By law, that means that the court will enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. You will proceed to circuit court, and then you will do what you wish.
Oh, I thought we just switched over to circuit court so I could do that.
Well, we kind of did. But I'm
So I
not
don't
doing the plea. The fact that you don't understand may be why you need an attorney.
I
But
don't need an,
I can't force you to have one, so you're going to proceed on your own. Do you understand what I have just said?
yep, you're not doing what I said.
Court will indicate the defendant is standing mute to both charges. I'll enter a not guilty plea. Pre-trial in this matter will be set for.
November 13th at 1:30 before Judge Conlon.
Good luck. November 13th, 2024, 1:30 before Judge Conlon, and I'm sure Judge Conlon will be more than happy to take your guilty plea, ma'am. All right?
Okay.
Bond in this
Have a good
matter
day.
will continue. Thank you.
Thanks.
Excuse me.
You know, for as goofy as she is very pleasant to deal with, and she streamlined the process. Just go ahead and admit to it and get rolling with it. We have a member of our group, Cindy. She's a great part of our team. She shows up in a lot of the lives. She was affected by the storm that came through, Hurricane Milton, and she has sent me some pictures and videos, and I want to share those now and just kind of talk through it on there. I was really appreciative that she sent these to me. Watch this badass truck that comes through. I don't know what they made this out of, but it was awesome. Look at that little thing. I don't know, but it's just all tires. I wonder if that's the FEMA or sheriff's office or whose that is, but that'd just be miserable for a backyard. There's that little badass truck again, and people waiting around in that. You know, you can see snakes and alligators and all kinds of stuff in that. It amazes me how people wade through it. I'll show where this is at. This is in Hillsborough County, Florida. So there's that little truck again. You know, that was the highlight of the day. They lost power and all, so they didn't have much going on. They could just watch that. There we go. There's some aerial photos of the area. Imagine living in that. That's what they dealt with for probably a week or so. I know she went over a week before she was able to get power and get anything running. She had a generator though. All right, so this is where she was at. She's right there in that cool little orange circle there. That's the Northeast Hillsborough County, and it normally doesn't flood there. That's a higher up area, so but she's doing good. She's got a great attitude about everything. She's not asking for any help. She's being a true Floridian. But I got to know her over the last few months, and she's just awesome to talk with. But she sent me that, and I asked if I could share it, and she said I could share it. So they're going to rebuild. That's why we pay damn near more in insurance than we pay in paying mortgage here in Florida. So we survive it. So I don't think they're out of the water just yet. It's certainly a lot higher. Or certainly a lot higher that day than it is now, but it's not out of it yet. Me and Emily were down at the water just the other day, and even the lakes are still high, so it's kind of a mess there. So, but anyways, thank you, Cindy, for sharing this. I'm sure she'll watch this on the replay. Thank you so much. We're going to let's jump into some Judge Boyd. I've been stacking some of them up, so let's jump there.
So on this case, where are we? Counsel, I know at the last setting, you were given an investigator?
We were, yeah.
Okay. So what else do we need to take up?
So I guess the question is just whether she goes to inpatient or outpatient. So the preliminary tab evaluation had said either inpatient if we want something more structured, outpatient if we want something less. Michonne feels that she would benefit from either Alpha Home or House of Discipleship.
Okay.
Ms. Jones wanted me to request from the court that she be granted the opportunity for outpatient. Her issues with addiction were from in the last year primarily marijuana. The main thing is just that she's absconded for so long. But having met with Ms. Carnes, she has like a very detailed plan for her life now. I'm just gonna, if I could let her tell you, I could touch this person if this needs to tell you. Do you wanna tell her?
Yes, sure.
I met with Mrs. Carey, and honestly, despite my son is with my family right now, actually. And she actually, not only is she gonna help me find my baby, but she's gonna mentor me. And she gave me her card. I actually have it right here in my folder. I have a plan for the next 1 to 6 months of my life. I wrote it down, I wrote everything down, play by play, and I've been able to sit with my bad decisions. My grandma just flew into town from California yesterday. And I've been able to sit with my bad decisions to where I know that I've made some mistakes, but
you made some choices.
Some bad choices. And if you give me the opportunity to do outpatient, I promise you I will not let you down. Like, I won't be back in blues. I won't be back on this end of the podium, at least. And I know that can I read you my plan, or can you read it?
Sure, but see, here's the thing. This is what I want to tell people. I always tell people this. Everybody comes up with a plan when they're in custody, right? But when they're out in the free world, their plan is just out the window. And the thing about it is, if you could write a great plan, then you wouldn't be here, right? Because you're on deferred adjudication and your range of punishment is up to 10 years in prison, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And knowing that your range of punishment, you could potentially go to prison for 10 years. You decided to make bad choices. So you can't write your own plan. Now, what I can tell you is this. Sometimes people will think that the places that I'm sending them to, that it's punishment. And sometimes it is, sometimes it's a little bit of punishment, but usually it's a lot of rehabilitation.
I love Alpha Home, I do, but it's just, I've been an inpatient twice. And honestly, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I don't wanna miss this moment with my son. I haven't seen him at all. And the fact
Well, what I can tell you is that the programs that they're talking about sending you to, especially the House of Discipleship, I believe that's with Victoria, you'll be able to see your son. They will make plans for you to see your son. But here's the thing. You can go to the House of Discipleship or and they will give you a chance to see your son once you're in their program, or guess what? If you go to prison, you know when you'll be able to see your son? When somebody wants to bring your son to you, and then there's a limited amount of time for you to see him. So I'm trying to give you a plan where I won't see you back here before. I can't tell you the number of times. No, here's the thing. The promises you're making to me, other people made those same promises. And the minute they get into the free world, I'd say like 2 or 3 weeks into the free world, then they start backsliding. You can't take somebody, sometimes it works for people, sometimes it doesn't. You can't take somebody from 24/7 lockdown with somebody controlling your life and then giving them all this freedom, because guess what's going to happen? Something's going to come up in life where you can't make a meeting. And then you'll be like, I can't make a meeting, but you know what? I'm going to double up on that. And then the next thing you know, I'm going to triple up on that. Then the next thing you know, you're not calling your probation officer. Then the next thing you know, we're back here for you missing and absconding. Because I want you to really internalize something. You could be going to prison for 10 years because you've been missing. Nobody knew where you were, right? Now you've given me reasons for why you were missing, things going on in your life. But what I can tell you is this: everybody has something horrible that's happening in their life. It's just the way they handle it and the way they address it. Your way to address bad things happening in your life is to go AWOL, to abscond, knowing that you could be sent up to 10 years in prison. In this court, everybody will tell you that I always say, if you have an issue, pick up the phone and call probation. All you had to do was pick up the phone and call probation and say, hey, look, I have all these stresses that are going on in my life. Can you help me? And then if they would have said, no, whatever, get over your stressors, cry a river, build a bridge, get over it. Then guess what you could have done? Then you could have came to the court. Because I can tell you, probation officers, when they see 187 District Court, they're not going to tell you to cry me a river, build a bridge, and get over it. They're going to try to address that with you. And then if they can't address it, I'm going to get an email from them asking me, do I want a compliance hearing? And they'll tell me what's going on in your life. Everybody who's on probation in this court, I remember them. I remember what's going on. Everybody I send to prison, I remember what's going on with them. I see people as people. I know everybody has a SID number. Everybody has a case number. Yeah, I can use your SID number and case number to look you up, but I believe everybody is human beings. That's why I remember things about them and remember what's going on in their life. So what's going on in your life is, yes, Carrie's great, right? And she is willing to work with you, not just as your investigator, but as a mentor. And what I'm telling you is going to the House of Discipleship, that will help you. They'll have a place for you. They'll keep you on track. They can address these trauma issues that you've had going on in your life. And that's the best place for you. And if you let them know, hey, I really want to see my son, they'll make arrangements for that too. You understand? So that's what's going to end up happening. I appreciate the fact that you've sat down, that you got plans for your life. Now sit down. And if you want to sit down with Carrie, or if you want to sit down with your probation officer and say, I'm doing A, B, C, and D. Let's make plans for when I'm released from the House of Discipleship. Like, those plans are still going to be there. Time is still going to pass. You understand? You need to focus on your number one things. Number one thing, not going to prison potentially for 10 years, right? Number one thing, remaining clean and sober. Number one thing, staying in contact with probation. Number one thing, staying in contact with your defense attorney and with Carrie. You know what? Number one thing, taking parenting classes so you can be a good parent to your children. All right? Okay. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to see how that goes. And you can speak to probation. They'll tell you how long the program is and everything. And they'll come and pick you up from the Bexar County Jail to take you to their program. And just internalize what's going on in the program, because guess what? Those are people who will be in your life forever that you'll always be able to contact. You need a support system, and they're going to be part of your support system. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else you need from me?
No, yeah.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. All right. So, hi. So this is what's happening. Your attorney is actually serving jury duty today. on the federal side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recall you. And I'm gonna recall you for next week just to make sure that he'll be available.
Okay. I filed a writ of habeas corpus. I have over 180 days and my Miranda rights were read when I was arrested, but I didn't have a 2-year protective order. I lived there, but my daughter called me.
Okay, so here's the thing.
It was dropped.
Oh, wait, let me do those time out. So I don't want you to talk to me about your case because your attorney probably doesn't want everyone to know about your case. And when I say everyone, the state. So it's probably best if you confer with your attorney about what you feel your defenses are or that type of thing.
That's fine.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you back on Monday, the 28th. If your attorney is excused from jury duty before then, he'll let us know and we may bring you back sooner. But at the latest, it will be the 28th. So that'll be Monday.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for all the comments. Hey, Vicky, it's good to see you here. Hey, reach out to Jay. If you don't know Jay, don't worry about it. But all y'all that know Jay, reach out to her. She's struggling right now and she could use your support. So just reach out to her and tell her you love her. Tell her, how's she doing, and just reach out to her. She's in a spot. Uh-oh. Looks like Allie's wanting the wrench from KK. Nope, I'm sorry. KK's my buddy. She's gonna get to keep the wrench. And so as long as Micah's got a wrench, and KK will have a wrench, so we're gonna stay there. We're gonna jump to Judge Kirkham. This was I guess husband and wife. Yeah, they both share the same last name, so I'm assuming they're they fuss enough to where you think they're husband and wife. So I'm assuming that's there, and they're going through that with Judge Kirkham. So let's go there and just think about Judge Kirkham. And, he's an older fella and he's been there, done that, and he has to listen to this garbage all day long. So we can listen to it for 20 minutes.
21st, 2024 at 11:02 a.m. for case 2024-2728 PP, Shania Roman versus Sebastian Roman.
Okay. Good morning to both of you. This matter is before the court there were two petitions. There was the respondent's motion to terminate and petitioner's motion to show cause. Ms. Roman, I'll let you know that in this particular case that you had to accomplish service upon the defendant. Service was not accomplished until October 16, 2024, giving him 5 days notice. That's not sufficient notice. So we cannot proceed today on your motion to show cause. You're going to have to renotice that and get him reserved. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. We can proceed, however, on the respondent's motion to terminate, as that was timely filed and served. So we will do that. Mr. Roman, I'll have you raise your right hand and we'll have you sworn in and you can give some testimony.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, go ahead, sir. Why do you believe the court should terminate the personal protective order?
Well, the first part is I'm not a danger or a threat to this woman. I've never really done anything other than argue with her, and that's really all. And, we've gotten loud and all that, but I've never physically hurt this woman. I've never put my hands on her. I still love her to death, and I would never do anything like that.
Well,
I just wholeheartedly, I just want this all to be behind us so me and her can respectfully just go back to parenting our kids and just however it happens, I just want this behind us. I don't wish any harm towards her or anything of that nature. I just want to be able to see my children and move on with our lives.
okay. Anything else?
No, that's really it. I mean, like I said, a large amount of these statements that you claimed against me, they're all mostly extremely exaggerated. I've never spoken to my children in this way, telling them to, I don't mean to curse, but telling them to shut the fuck up or I'll slap the shit out of them. I've never said anything like that to my children. And the fact that she would lie and say these things about me is ridiculous.
Okay. Ms. Roman, do you have any questions of the respondent?
I don't have any questions for him.
Okay. Ma'am, what we're going to do is we're going to have you raise your right hand, be sworn in. We'll take some testimony from you.
Please make sure you unmute first, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you are about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, ma'am. You would, I take it you don't want the personal protective order terminated. Is that
No,
accurate?
no, I do not. I do not. My statements are not exaggerated. They are true. I have presented evidence to the court. There was a long abuse of sexual abuse. It is true. Everything I'm saying is true. I have proof of whatever it is that you need to show me. He's saying that he never physically touched me or anything. You have, and I have messages between the two of us where you admitted of the things that you've done.
Okay, sir, or ma'am, direct your questions and your comments to the court, not to the respondent.
I'm sorry, sir. I do have proof of
okay.
text messages between the two of us.
What proof do you have? I'm looking at your petition. And let's go, the first incident you mentioned was on 9/19/24.
Yes.
And tell me what happened on that date.
On 9/19/24, we got into a dispute that day. And I told him I was getting my car. And I went to his job and I got my vehicle back. I called the police when I got home to let them know that there was going to be a possible altercation because of that. So I forewarned the police before anything happened. At approximately around 9 o'clock, I was putting my kids to bed. He came in the house storming, screaming, and yelling. And he drugged me into the room. You cannot say this isn't true. I have witnesses. I have my brother and I have my mom who was also here during this event. But he drugged me into the room. He pushed our daughter out the way because she was following behind us. He got into my face, was yelling at me about the car and everything. He threatened to punch me and break my jaw. This is true. This is everything that you said that was said. And he was trying to take my other vehicle. So he stormed and went and got my keys out of my purse and I chased behind him. I also have messaged to found two witnesses that was outside that seen this altercation outside. We got into an argument then. He was screaming and yelling at me outside, causing confrontation. He said he had items in the car that I took. I agreed to go get the cars. I mean, his items from the other car, which is the Pathfinder. And I told him to meet me at the gas station. That was our proof. I mean, not proof. I'm sorry. That was our agreement, was for him to stay at the gas station and I will go retrieve whatever he's supposed to have in there, which wasn't nothing but 2 packs of cigarettes and some weed. But I told him I'll go get his stuff and I'll meet him back at the gas station. He had 2 girls in a car with him. And the back of this gas station was behind my home. So I went and I noticed that he was following me. I stopped in the middle of Dickman Road and I told him that you're not going to follow me. So I made a U-turn to go back home and he followed behind me and crashed into the back of my car. Afterwards, I got out of the car and he was pushing me and stuff. And then his girlfriend, after my brother came and got him off of me. And then me and his girlfriend got into an argument and she proceeded to fight me. And another girl who they had with them also jumped on me. And again, I got my mom and my brother here as a witness as well. So he did bring 2 females to the house with him. And to my understanding, it was to harm me because why are you bringing 2 women to the house? And he's saying he didn't, but how do we get into a fight behind the house if you didn't bring 2 women there who know where I live and where our kids lay? And then he came in the house and made a big confrontation, pushed our daughter physically out the way and drugged me in the room and then threatened to break my jaw.
That's lies.
That's not a lie.
Sir,
It's not a lie.
no comments by you. She's testifying.
It's not a lie. And I have, like I said, my mom has been here for almost 2 months now. She's seen the way you stormed in the house. They've heard you yelling. So I got people to testify against you. You can't tell me that it's not. They're here and they've seen and they witnessed. It's not a lie. You know this is what you said.
Ma'am, do not talk to the respondent. I said address your comments to the court.
I'm sorry. It is everything that I'm saying is not a lie. It is true. And that's what happened that day. And even in the police report, it stated
Well, I don't
everything
care
that
what's
I'm
in the
saying.
police report. The police report is just a statement of what the parties have said, so that's not evidence of what's in the police report.
Okay, well, I have witnesses.
Okay, anything else, ma'am?
Are we just talking about that, or can I move on to my other statements?
You can move on to anything you'd like to, the court to be aware of.
Okay,
May I address that first statement?
No, you can't. She's testifying. When she's done, you can address things.
Okay, thank you.
moving on to the sexual abuse. All of that is absolutely true, and I have to deal with it for months. I have text messages with me pleading with his mother, with his aunt. I have messages between me and him talking about all the sexual abuse that he's done towards me. Everything that I said is absolutely true. Every night I would be sleeping in my room and he would come in to my room and he would start to try to touch on me and everything. And I would tell him no. And he would physically go ahead and go on. He would choke me. He would hold me down. The last time he did it was on August 23rd. And that day, I told him that I would call the police on him. And he's trying to get into the Air Force. What he told me is that he don't care, that he would tell the police and his sergeant that it was worth it. Those are not lies. And I put my right hand to God and I put that on my kids. I will fight with him every single night for months with him coming in my room and violating me. And I have text messages between the two of us of me telling him to stop touching me, stop violating me. I have witnesses of my brother seeing him have me hemmed up in the corner. Anytime I would try to get away from him when we arguing, he would hold me up. He would choke me. Yes, he would. None of this is not a lie. It's not exaggerated.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
Do I need to, can I show proof of text messages or anything?
Well, if you have those and they are readily available.
I can print them out for you.
Oh, okay.
They're loose, unlabeled, so that's what we have.
Okay. We do have some things that you had provided, but you'll have to be specific, so, because they're not labeled in any way, so.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I have, let me see if I can turn my camera. Sorry, because I'm in my car, so I do apologize. I have messages from August 23rd. I'm trying to figure out how to turn my camera so I can show. How do you flip this camera? Right here. Okay. Here's messages from August 23rd. And I'm right here, I'm explaining exactly what he was doing to me that night. And excuse the language on there where it
Okay,
says
well, let's clarify, ma'am. You said that you had stuff from him. I'm not as concerned about what you said happened because you've already testified to that.
okay, yeah, well, this is me. Everything I said and basically about what he did is what I said in the text. And here he admits right here, okay, what I did, and it was foul of me to do it, but my heart broke.
Okay, Claire, hold on. I'm not finding, how do I identify what you're pointing to there?
Is him responding back to what I'm saying he's doing to me, and him saying that he's admitting that this is what he did.
That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, how do I identify it in the paperwork you gave me? I think I've identified that. It
should be the second page of that. I believe.
Well, it's not the second page. I think it looks like it's the third page of what you had provided to the court. It says, I think the response is, okay, what I did, and it was foul of me to do it, but my heart is broken and my mind destroyed by all that is unfolding in my life, and I wanted to keep something in my life. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, he's admitting that what he did.
Okay. Okay, anything else, ma'am?
Yes, I have messages of me constantly telling him to stop touching and violating me.
Okay, I don't need those because that's your statement, and again, you've already said that, so if in fact he acknowledged or did anything to that extent, then that would be important.
Now,
Okay, well, I don't have anything else. I just have messages of basically showing how overly obsessive he is, how I've been basically just trying to get away from him this entire time. I have messages of me, basically him telling me that he's not going to leave me alone, no matter what.
Okay. Anything else, ma'am?
That's all. Just me just showing that he's basically saying he wouldn't leave me alone. I just feel very threatened by him, and I just don't feel like I need to be around him. I don't want to be around him.
Okay.
I've been trying to get away from him for years, and it's been overly obsessive, and it's been a long line of all type of abuse, physically, verbally, and it's gotten to the point where I'm trying to come to help. And if y'all terminate this PPO, I feel like it's going to put me in danger, because a lot of women that come for help and they don't get the help, and I'm trying to get the help right now. I'm trying to stay away from him. I'm trying to be protected right now.
Okay. Sir, do you have any questions of the petitioner?
Are you referring to me?
Yes.
My main question is, well, not really.
Well, you either do or you don't. Not really isn't an answer.
I do. Would I be able to see my children, or would I be able to get this terminated? Because I don't wish any harm towards this woman. Nothing like that. I don't want to. I'm never gonna put my hands on her or anything like that. And also, I do have a secondary question. The addresses that are presented on the PPOs, I've been made aware that my ex-wife has moved residences, and I don't know where she lives now. I don't really care where she's at. I just want to know where my children are. That's my only concern. And also,
we're not taking care of that in this proceeding. This is only on the motion to terminate.
I understand that. And also, I'm currently homeless at the moment. And since she's not residing at our former residence, I was wondering if the court would at all make it possible to allow me to remain.
That's not before the court. If you want that, you're going to have to file a complaint or a petition to get that relief, but it's not before the court today.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Ms. Roman?
No, sir. I have all the evidence that I have provided. Like I said, I just want to be able to be protected.
Okay. Well, in this particular case, the court's heard the testimony of the various parties in this case, and I will let you know that the court can enjoin and restrain certain conduct if the court determines there is reasonable cause to believe that an individual has committed or may commit any acts listed under MCL 600.2950 parens 1A through K in this particular case. And in this particular matter, there are obviously allegations, there's denials of the allegations, but the court notes that the petitioner had referred to some text messages in which she had made various allegations against the respondent in this particular case, to which his response was, okay, I did, and it was foul of me to do it, but my heart is broken and my mind destroyed by all that is unfolding in my life, and I only wanted to keep you in my life. Obviously, the court notes, obviously in view of the allegations that he had engaged in the conduct which he has testified to today, clearly that's an admission that, as he states, it was foul of me to do it. The court does believe that there is reasonable cause to believe that he has or may commit any of those particular acts. So the court will, in this matter, deny the motion to terminate in this particular case. So,
Your Honor, if I
No,
may,
you may not. We're done now. But the personal protective order will continue and remain in effect through the date of the personal protective order. So you're free to go. Have a good day.
if I may, so what would I tell my sergeant? Because he wants to know if this is a pending assault, a sexual assault charge against me, and she claims that I have a warrant for my arrest as well. But
I have no idea about any warrants in this matter. All I know is about what's under the personal protective order.
because she's claiming that I went to the house, but I never went there.
Well, she can claim anything she wants. I'm continuing the personal protective order, and that's all we were here for today.
Okay, but when will the address be changed for her protective order? Because obviously she doesn't live here, and I don't want to.
Well, she's gonna have to file something to get that amended or modified. The only thing we had on today was your motion to terminate. We didn't terminate it, so.
Okay. But,
okay, free to go. Have a good day.
It sounds like he got himself caught up in a mess, and now he's trying to straighten out his life, and it's coming back to haunt him. That happens. That happens too much. Lori, thank you so much for coming out tonight. You have a good night, and we're going to go to let's go to another Judge Boyd. We'll go to another Judge Boyd and getting ready for Court Addict coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we got 17 more minutes till there. Hey, Kimby.
2024 CR 1043, State of Texas versus J. Angel Juarez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Eric Sadelman.
Defense.
Carl Basley, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Juarez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're here on a restitution hearing. Is that correct? State and defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and the state's witness is appearing by Zoom. The court will note for the record she was here at 9 a.m. Defense was in juvenile. Any objections to Ms. Warner appearing by Zoom? Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and do you have any objection to her appearing by Zoom? All right. State, you may proceed.
Ms. Warner, were you involved?
Oh, just 1 second. You're going to call Ms. Warner as a witness?
State calls Kiana Warner.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Kiana Warner.
All right, state.
Ms. Warner,
San Antonio, Texas.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Ms. Warner, were you involved in a collision that occurred on or about May 14th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
Could you briefly describe the circumstances of that collision?
Yes, sir. I believe it was around that time. I was at Babcock 7-Eleven. I was parked in a designated parking spot in front of the corner store. The other person that actually hit my vehicle was parked in a parking space that was not a designated parking spot. And a police officer happened to just be passing through the convenience store. And as he was passing through, the person in the truck was backing out. And so the cop honked his horn to let him know someone's behind you. And he ended up hitting the cop car. And in the process of him hitting the cop car, the cop got out of the vehicle. And as the officer got out of the vehicle, the person driving the vehicle rammed my car out of the way to flee the scene.
And what damage did your vehicle sustain?
I have pictures I can submit via email if y'all need them, but all the back of my bumper, the back of my bumper was ripped off. I had a light that was damaged. It's pretty in depth. I also, I sent in the estimate to get the collision fixed. So y'all have that, and it goes a breakdown by exactly what was damaged.
Who did you go to have the damage to your vehicle assessed?
I don't remember the exact collision place, but if I can have a few seconds, I can pull up the estimate and I can tell you.
And Ms. Warner, what did collision estimates tell you would be the amount of the amount of money required to repair your vehicle?
It's gonna be listed on the document. I don't have the exact dollar amount in front of me, but
Does $6,399 sound about right to you, more or less?
correct.
And what vehicle did you have at the time?
A 2020 Buick Enclave.
And have you been compensated for the amount of the loss to your vehicle by any other source?
No, I have not.
Pass the witness.
Defense.
At the time of the incident, was this Buick Enclave, was it covered by insurance?
It was.
Relevance.
Oh, I'll let her answer. She said yes.
And did you make any type of claim with that insurance for payment?
Not with mine because the person that hit my car should be responsible for it. So I tried to go through their insurance.
And I think you previously said that you have not been compensated by anybody else for any repairs on the car. Is that correct?
Correct, because he didn't own the vehicle. So I was going back and forth with the person that actually owned the vehicle. The vehicle he totaled out, it belonged to someone else, and her insurance, it almost seemed like it wasn't real insurance. I was going back and forth with them, and I never ended up hearing back from them.
Okay, so so this Buick Enclave that you were driving that day, did you own that?
Correct, I'm financing it. I had just actually purchased it April the 19th.
I wanted to make sure, because that sounded like maybe you said someone else owned it. So, but you owned it.
No, the vehicle that the person you're representing, the vehicle he totaled out wasn't his vehicle.
I'm talking about your vehicle. That's all I'm caring about.
Okay, and that's what I was stating.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify. All right. So on the Buick Enclave, the 2020, you said that you didn't make a claim insurance and nobody else helped you pay. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. No further questions, Jamie.
Any other questions of this witness?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So what the court has heard from this witness, and everyone correct me if I'm wrong, that she went to collision experts, the amount which both parties off the record have previously tendered to the court, the amount, and that amount is $6,399.22. That's what the court has. I know, State, you asked her a question, and she said $6,399. But according to the documents that both parties submitted to the court, it's $6,399.22. So do both parties agree that that's the amount from collision experts? And then we'll get to the restitution amount.
I think we agree that that is the amount quoted by collision experts.
That's correct. And I was provided a copy of that previous to the hearing. So that was correct.
All right. So it appears to the court that that's the restitution amount. The court will hear whatever argument the defense has as to maybe why that should not be the amount.
Your Honor, the last court hearing is when we had the hearing on my legal arguments for it. I won't re-urge those, and the court overruled those.
All right. And so the argument you want to re-urge, that's
No, I won't re-urge those. They're on the record. They're already overruled.
All right.
Since the research that I've done, Your Honor, I could not find anything that says that she's required to file under insurance. I just wanted to make sure she hadn't done it. So I don't really have anything presented to the court other than a prior argument that she voted for.
All right. So then the amount of restitution that's going to be owed is $6,399.12. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Was it 12 or 20?
I'm sorry, 22 cents. Thank you. So the record can be clear. $6,399.22. That's the amount you have to pay. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. How are you planning on paying that?
Getting a job.
Do you not currently have employment?
Oh man, my days, but I had quit. They were trying to withhold one of my checks.
They're trying to do what?
They were trying to withhold one of my checks.
Why?
I have no idea.
All right. So here's the thing. You're getting employment. Do you understand? How old are you?
18.
All right. How are you supporting yourself?
was when I had my job, but I recently just,
How long has that been?
not like 2 or 3 weeks.
2 or 3 weeks? So have you not eaten in 2 to 3 weeks? How are you eating if you don't have money?
My mom cooks dinner.
All right, so here's the thing. Parents are letting young people stay at home now, not in school, don't have a job. But in this court, you're getting employment and you're going to pay her back the $6,399.22. Do you understand? So what are your plans? How are you getting employment?
My brother-in-law, he does construction. So I'm just gonna try to talk to one of his bosses.
So why haven't you talked to him before then?
Because I need my ID. I'm working on getting my ID.
Why don't you have an ID?
I haven't scheduled an appointment.
No. Since when have you not had an ID? How long has this been?
I haven't had one.
Well, how did you get employment at this other place if you don't have an ID?
So I'm my baby daddy, knew the owner of the moving company. So
Yep, your mother's baby daddy. So your stepfather, your father?
I don't consider him as my stepfather, but yeah. The father of my little sibling is the same, but sister's
All right.
father.
So stepfather. All right. It's always, you've done CPS cases. When people say certain things, it's hard to see the family tree.
It would be his sister's father, all right?
All right. So here's the thing. I'm requiring you to get a job. If you don't have a job, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. And you're getting a job within 30 days. There are plenty of places for you to have employment. I see all down the street, employment available at Burger King, wherever. You knock your pride aside because you're trying to get employment so you can pay back what you owe. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if this vehicle that you were in was stolen, all you had to do was stop. And you know what would end up happening? You would have had an unauthorized use of a vehicle. But now you not only have that maybe, but you have this evading and you just wrecked her brand new car for her that she just bought. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Abrams, he's to have employment within 30 days. And if he doesn't have employment within 30 days, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if you've just been laying around, not getting your identification, but that's going to stop.
That's not happening.
Well, I mean, you don't have your identification. And you're saying your mother's baby's daddy gave you a job. I mean, that's what am I saying something that he did not say? Did he not say he didn't need his identification because his mother's baby daddy got him a job that he quit because his mother's baby's daddy's friend or employer would not pay him, was holding back his check? That's what you told me.
Yeah, but I didn't say I didn't need my ID because I do need my ID. I have an appointment scheduled in January.
No. Well, January is not going to help you. You better go back to that job with your mother's baby's daddy so that you can work to pay her what you owe.
Is there any way I could go because I know there's one in Universal City. Is there any way I could go out of Bear County to go get my ID from over there? Or
that's not my issue. That's on you.
So,
and if you're going to have a $sign on your finger, you need to have money to match that $sign. You understand? She wants her $6,399.22. You've ruined her day that day. Can you imagine if you had a brand new car and somebody plows into it and wrecks it? Yeah. So you're getting a job within 30 days. However you get your identification, that's a problem you're going to have to solve. You understand?
Yes, ma'am. So I'm allowed to leave Bear County to go get
You're allowed to work within 30 days.
All right.
That's yes or no. Do you understand?
I think what you have, since normally you can't leave Bear County without permission, whether you have permission to go there to get it. I'll just talk to my probation officer.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking.
Yes. So within 30 days, he needs to have employment, the end. And then once he gets employment, Ms. Abrams, if he doesn't have employment within 30 days, file a motion to revoke. If he has employment within 30 days, then we need to bring him back here to find out how much he's going to be paying per month to her to pay down this restitution.
Judge, okay. Typically, the cashiers will put it in the system and give them a dollar amount, and once that's secured, then I can get a supplemental report to send to you.
All right, well, let them know I'm not going to be satisfied with $50 a month. All right. Okay, is there anything else? All right, thank you. Thank you for zooming in.
All right, I'm going to throw up a little short one from Judge Fleischer this morning just to finish this up. But in a few minutes, it's going to redirect over to court addict with ATX Alley. So we're going to jump on a quick Judge Fleischer one, and then we're going over there.
Yasmin Davila?
Yes.
Davila, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay.
On October 17, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a one motor vehicle accident at 2000 block of Forest Oaks Road in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant standing near the driver's side door of his vehicle, and the officer observed the vehicle to be completely disabled since it had crashed against a large tree. The defendant admitted to being the sole occupant and driver of the vehicle, and the officer observed the defendant to have slurred speech, a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage, and red glossy eyes. The defendant admitted to drinking, and standard field sobriety tests were conducted. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 6 out of 8, and the one leg stand was 3 out of 4. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused, and a blood warrant was obtained and executed.
Okay, Ms. Davila, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am? Do you have valid liability insurance in your name? Then you're not allowed to drive. If you don't have car insurance, you may not drive, and I'm making that a condition of your bond. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or any kind of dope, I will put you in jail. Alex, she has a prior obstruction of a highway. Those are usually DWIs that are reduced to either like a reckless or a obstruction. Is this a prior DWI that was reduced? And if you can run her to see if she has any DWIs from elsewhere, please.
Yes, Your Honor, and the obstruction does not appear to be a prior DWI that was
Is
reduced.
it true obstruction?
Yes, Your Honor, and I'll run her NCIC and double check for you.
Please.
Your Honor, she has no other prior DWIs or open cases.
The reason I'm asking that, ma'am, is that if I see that you had any prior contacts, I would put an interlock on your car. I'm not going to at this point, but I am ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're consuming anything, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. Do you understand?
I do.
What do you do for a living, man? How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm a bartender.
You're 20?
8.
You're 28. Where do you bartend at? At a local bar?
Heights. No, I live 30 minutes away from it.
Be careful. Temptation is high when you work in a bar. Understand, I'm not going to accept this. Oh, a beer fell into my mouth, or I slipped and fell and alcohol came. Doesn't matter. Don't consume alcohol. You understand? How much money do you make a month, man?
Say 2,000.
Are you married?
I'm not.
Children? Can you afford a lawyer?
Can't. No.
Let's do this. I'll have you fill out an application. I need to know everything about you. I need to know how much money you have in the bank, your expenses, all income that you have coming in from any other places, whether it be this or that. I need to know everything about you, and I'll see whether you qualify for an appointed lawyer. We'll have you fill that out. I'm now going to also have you sign an affidavit that you're not allowed to drive until you have car insurance. And then I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. You'll eventually get with pre-job your bond conditions. Then we'll have you take your seat in the jury box. Okay? Please.